Today I'm going to ask you a simple question. If two people have same intelligence, same knowledge, same dreams, same curiosity, will they make the same decisions in life? I think most of us will answer the same, they should. But in reality, they don't. Because our decisions are not always logical. It is highly influenced by the environment where we live. I'm just giving you a simple example. A study, environmental study suggests that our daily decisions are not always logical. In fact, most of our decisions are influenced by what we think of, what we see of, what the people surround us. Being a teaching professional, I have worked with many students over the years. I have noticed that students with same intelligence often make different paths, different choices. It's not that the one is better than the other. It's because they belong to different regions, different circumstances. That's why their decisions are different. Still, they have the same curiosity, same intelligence. That is the reason, after so many years, started blaming themselves, saying that if they could have taken that decision 10 years ago, they could have done some achievement in life. Always we blame ourselves, we get confused. We should always think that decisions are not made in isolation. Decisions are always influenced by the environment. So, we the human beings are not thinking beings, we are highly influenced beings. Suppose a child grows up in a family, in a home where education is encouraged. Since his childhood, the child actually understands that education is normal. But if a child grows up in a home where distraction is consistent, then the focusing for the child is actually challenged. That's why we should always understand this in a better way so that we can take better decisions. Give you three examples which actually help us to understand it better. Grows up in a city, first moving city like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, they knows how to take decision quickly. But the person who lives in a village, they understands, they learns the patience only. They always think before they act. But the person who lives in a coastal region or near the sea, they know how to deal with uncertainty. Myself, I live in an island. I know there may be some things may change any time over the years. There may be flood, there may be storms. That's why we get prepared for these always. We know how to deal with uncertainty. Why I am sharing this today? Because if you understand these, that decisions are not always made in resolution, we can make better future. We should always understand that we have two choices. The choice one is always try to understand if the decision is actually yours. Is it your real decision? Or the decision is highly influenced by the person you listen to or by the surroundings where you live in? If the answer is second one, then try to change the environment, try to choose the better people, better surroundings. Because over the years, where we live in, we make some psychological patterns. And these psychological patterns over the time become habits. And habits are very, very powerful. We never ask any questions to them. We just follow them. That's why psychological patterns becomes habit, and habit becomes decisions, and decision actually saves or creates our life. So to take better decision in life, to stop blaming ourselves, we need to always think that we need to change the environment first, and then we can change our future. I've also seen many students in my life, they are very much confused they can't take decisions because their decisions are highly influenced by many people. Someone saying you go to engineering, someone saying you just take general stream, someone say you stop doing business. That means your decision actually is going to be influenced, is actually influenced by many people. So if you are actually influenced by many people, then try to change the environment, think calmly, take your decision according to your own heart, what your heart is actually saying. First listen to it, then take decision. You will get the much better future in life. So I will always say, if you want to change your life, change your environment first, then you can change your future. Thank you.